Have you ever wondered if all the advice you're trying to follow to grow your YouTube channel is complete nonsense? Well, if you feel stuck on what to do next, you're lost, and you're not getting any views, then you've probably been sold a lie. At 1 of 10, we spend all of our time blowing up YouTube channels, getting results like these every week, and even help our clients generate 6-figure businesses from their audiences. So in this video, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know to grow a YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers in the exact order that you need to learn, starting with level 1. Now, you've probably heard a million times that ideas are the foundation of a YouTube channel. Only good ideas are actually going to bring in views and grow your channel, and you just need to copy outliers to come up with those good ideas. Now, there's some truth in that, but what if I told you that you're actually using outliers wrong, probably in a way that's hurting your channel, and on top of that, making you look a little bit silly? For those who don't know, outlier ideation is when you take outliers from other channels, outliers being overperforming videos, and copy them to try and create outliers for your own channel. But here's the thing, if we go into 1 of 10 right now to browse outlier videos and pull up this video from Money Guy Show here, we can see it's a 5x outlier with over 100,000 views. Now, if we pull up another money related outlier from a smaller channel, which is also like a 5x outlier, you might be thinking, both of them are like 5x outliers, but this is where most people go wrong. You see, really big channels like the Money Guy Show are on a completely different playing field to these smaller creators. So what I'm trying to say is these outliers are not equal and not the same in any sense. You see, big channels have a loyal audience behind them that can get behind videos that might not even be the best ideas. If you're a smaller creator, you want to study outliers from smaller creators because they're on the same playing field as you. They're the real blueprint for virality. Bringing up some more outliers from smaller channels will also give you an insight into the psychology of what's working. Like here, we can see that comparison is working, possibly even an animated cartoon approach for the niche, or creating unique angles with your content, such as a weird angle. Now, bear in mind, I just got this with a quick 5-minute search, so if you're doing this seriously, you want to collect a lot of outliers over the past 3 to 6 months. You'll also want to track your competition to see what audiences are actually watching inside of your niche. So yes, ideas are the foundation of your channel, and yes, you can use outliers to grow, but you've got to do that in the right way. But let's cover the next thing most creators get wrong, because the moment you get it right, you could be seeing results like these. Level 2. Now, you've just spent 19 hours coming up with the juiciest idea in the world. The last thing you want to do is ruin that idea with a bad thumbnail and title. The first warning sign when it comes to creating a good thumbnail for your idea is actually struggling to come up with a thumbnail in the first place. You see, if you've done your ideation correctly, you probably already have several titles drafted out for your video and many outliers connected to draw inspiration from for the visual style of your thumbnail. But let me stop you right there. There are way too many small creators out there who think that copying the thumbnail style of a creator like Alex Hormozi is gonna get them clicks. It doesn't. It makes you look like a guy who's trying to copy Alex Hormozi. And guess what? When people see your thumbnail, they'll see that, and who are they gonna watch? They're gonna watch Alex Hormozi. So the secret with thumbnails is, yes, use concepts, composition, text, and styles that work, but do something to make it your own. Whether that be developing your own colors, font style, your outfit, environment, or whatever. Do something to make yourself stand out from the crowd. Whenever copying on YouTube, you always want to think remixing instead. Just ask yourself the reason why something worked. And then once you work out the why, you can apply it to your own channel. Now, you can jump on trending formats. So the thumbnail for this video actually is based off a trending format that's been popping off over the past couple of months. And just to flex what remixing actually means and to flex another win, this thumbnail here was actually the inspiration for Mike Shake's Weapons series that brought in millions of views for his channel. Level 3. Now for the terrifying level, scripting. This is the level where you go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a viral video. If an education channel asks you to do that, please block them. But I get it. Scripting can feel very intimidating. You can feel stuck for hours on end. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes practice and hours of work to get good. But let me give you some pointers that will make scripting much easier for you. First up is understanding that, especially when you're a smaller channel, the only thing viewers care about is what you are doing for them. No one cares about you asking for subs, likes, personal stories, anything that isn't related to what they clicked on the video for. So the first principle you need to understand in scripting is only provide value. If you ain't giving the juice, the views won't be juicy. Now, you've probably heard that intros and hooks are the most important part of a video, because if you don't hook someone in the intro, then they're just not going to watch the rest of the video and they're going to be gone in like 5 seconds. While that's true, If you're really struggling writing an intro and you just suck at intros, just don't have one. Go straight into the content. Yeah, don't do an intro. To prove this works, I don't know if you guys have been watching these horrifying like stickman videos, but these cartoon presentations just go straight into the storytelling, which is exactly what people clicked for. So it's just about what expectations do you set up with the title and thumbnail, and just go straight into the value. Don't even worry about an intro. Speaking of expectations set up by the title and the thumbnail, it's why I've put scripting at level 3 as well, because once you have your packaging sorted out for your video, you're able to match the script more accurately to that packaging. But the primary reason that people want to get good at hooking is obviously because they want people watching their videos for longer. But a hook doesn't only exist at the start of a video. You want to rehook your audience throughout the video. You can do this with kind of sections where in between each sections you have like a bridging sentence that sets up the next section as something that must be watched. So for example, when I said earlier, okay, you've got your idea, but you don't want to ruin your idea, and you want to go on and make a good title and thumbnail, that was kind of me rehooking you into the next section and showing you why it's important. The nature of progression is a great way to hook people too. So the structure of this video has like a natural kind of progressing element to it with the 7 levels. So you're going to want to kind of understand what all of those 7 levels are if you want to master YouTube and get those 100,000 subs. Yeah, the psychology of the video is a hook too. Level 4, studio setup. People who say your equipment and studio setup don't matter and you should just post on YouTube, they're liars. Liars, I tell you. The good thing is creating a decent studio setup doesn't have to be super expensive and you don't have to break the bank to start making content. But please do think about lighting and composition, because first impressions are really important on YouTube, especially if you're looking to be someone credible in the education space. The bar is rising, people, as competition gets higher and higher. It's not dropping. So if you are planning to set up in front of a camera, here's what actually matters. First up is audio. Get a decent mic, whether it's a lapel clip or chunky looking guy like this. It's the most important thing in the video, because if your audio is bad, no one is going to stick around to watch. Next thing that's really important is lighting. You can either use kind of well-timed daylight to naturally light your video. Ideally, you want to face the source of light, so that means facing a window or at a slight angle if you want a bit of a shadow somewhere. The other option is getting a soft box like I have here. The grid helps to like direct light better, and I quite like this clean natural look over something more cinematic. If I were to kind of turn off all the lights, do this at night in the dark. Finally, composition and hands. Yes, hands. Most of our communication actually comes through body language. So if you cropped your video up to like here and you are just this like big head on the screen, there's so much communication that's being missed in your video. And sometimes we actually talk more with our hands, which is more entertaining and engaging for viewers too. So make sure whatever shot you've got set up shows enough of your body, not too much, or you might get demonetized for that. But even if you've got a great setup, the problem is when you start presenting, if you've got the energy of a dead fish, your channel ain't gonna grow. Level 5, presenting. I'm just gonna give this to you straight, but presenting is probably one of the most difficult skills on YouTube to master. It's a skill that if it doesn't come naturally to you, you're just gonna have to put in the reps. But, I say but again. There are certainly some approaches that you can take to really accelerate your progress and get over that kind of awkward stage. So let me give you some pointers. There's a hack that big creators use that allows them to make little to no mistakes and also saves them tons of time when it comes to editing. And that hack is using a teleprompter. With a lot of teleprompters, all you've got to do is like stick your phone or tablet in, have the text reflect, and you'll be able to read the script word for word without like messing up. The downside is you just end up staring sometimes at the camera like this, looking really intense and reading. So you kind of have to teach yourself not to be still and look like a robot, and remember to blink. Personally, these videos that I'm doing right now are not too long, and I've got used to kind of memorizing my lines over the years, so I don't really like using a teleprompter. I do have one if I start doing longer videos, but it's a skill that you should learn, and it's great to use if you do feel at first awkward presenting. Another hack I like to use is what I call the editor's cringe. This occurs when you're editing. You can kind of go over your video and spot things that make you cringe or that feel a bit awkward or that you don't like. Make a mental or physical note of it, so then the next time you do a video, you'll be like, I'm not gonna do that thing next time. I've actually been practicing my like live presentation on Discord over the past few weeks. We've been doing live strategy sessions. You can join that if you'd like to. But I've realized that when I present live, I say and a little bit too much. So it's something that I paid attention to, and now it's consciously on my mind every time I start a live stream. So I'm trying to cut that out of my vocabulary. But speaking of editing, it's actually one of the most misunderstood things when it comes to YouTube, which is why editing is level 6. Now, as a professional editor with over 15 million views in my portfolio, that's right. Let me tell you right now, you don't need a crazy amount of technical skill to get really high views on YouTube. This does depend a little bit on context though, so let me explain. The energy and pacing of your editing is very much dependent on what niche you're in and who your audience is. Generally speaking, younger audiences prefer faster paced editing leaning towards more retention editing, versus older audiences wanting something more simple and clear. There is this utter delusion that really good editing is what makes a video go viral, and that just isn't the case. Every level that I've covered before this one is like the foundation for what makes a video good and what makes a video go viral. The editing is just like the icing on the cake that can for sure get more reach and more impressions, get more watch time, help the video become more engaging for your audience, but it's not the foundation that makes it go viral in the first place. But just because you don't need like top tier editing to go viral, it doesn't mean that editing can't ruin your video. So let me give you some mistakes you really need to avoid when it comes to edits so you don't go messing up your videos. First up, you want to cut all of the A-roll or voiceover, which is the foundation of your video. You want to edit shortcuts on your keyboard so you can cut, ripple cut, and also select clips with ease. Using these shortcuts basically mean you never have to take your fingers off the keyboard and move around, meaning you can edit at maximum speed. Don't worry about anything else until the A-roll is cut. This is your narrative or talking head. After this, you'll want to develop another project on your editing software that you can use as a template to copy things across for your B-roll. This could be templates for how you present text, how you present a clip, or anything else you may repeat in each video. Then all you have to do is copy paste across these assets for every new upload, and it saves you having to create them every time. The one thing you want to keep in mind when editing is clarity. The moment a viewer can't follow a video anymore, they'll leave. So if you're watching your video back and the timing of something feels off, a graphic doesn't quite match up with what you're saying, or if it's just unclear, get rid of it. Finally, for sound, adding soundtracks can be a great way to enhance the viewer experience, but when educating about something, keep the soundtracks lower, and with more emotional or entertaining scenes, you can raise the volume of the soundtrack to add to the emotional experience. Honestly, the fastest way to edit and get better at editing is to just create these kinds of templates you can copy across, but also just get inspired from the top creators in your niche. Just look at their animations, look at their pacing, have a big collection of that, and then just translate it into your own edits. If you don't quite have the skill level to even work that out, just do simpler versions of what they do. But last of all, if you have money, just straight up hire an editor. Hiring an editor will save you so many hours every single week that you can put back into building your channel and investing that time into just making better videos. Level 7. So many channels work so hard to try and like master levels 1 to 6. And then what happens? They finally get their big outlier, their break on YouTube. They bring in thousands of views, and then what happens? They continue uploading and they can never reach that same high again. The momentum that they got from that one video completely dies, and they're back to basically square one. The outlier just appeared to be a one-hit wonder. I'm sure many of you have seen channels like this. But it doesn't have to be that way, because the root of this problem has everything to do with strategy. You see, this is one of the reasons why it's so important that every time you upload, you're uploading a piece of content that you really enjoyed making and that you'd want to do 100 times over again. The reason why? Well, the moment one single video pops off, that single video needs to inform all the content that comes after it. You need to work out why the outlier was an outlier. Usually it's related to the idea or the topic or the thing that you're covering, but use that again and again and again and again on your channel. So many people, they'll have an outlier, they want to identify why it was an outlier, and then they just go back to covering other topics or doing other things, and then wonder why they just end up with no views again, which doesn't make any sense at all. It's something that we've done repeatedly with our own clients to pull in millions of views again and again and again. But even if you're getting to grips with all of these levels that I've just introduced you to, I know it can be really hard to get momentum when you're starting from zero on YouTube. So if you're just looking for a complete blueprint, a step-by-step plan to follow for your own channel, you can click this video here to see how we blew up a client's channel from zero to over 250,000 subscribers.